Next on Worcester News tonight, the College of the Holy Cross changing the name of their school newspaper, making the change in response to negative associations surrounding the mascot. Plus, wearing red to raise awareness. The American Heart Association asking everyone to support women's heart health. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Following months of discussion, the student newspaper at Holy Cross is now changing its name. The paper, formerly known as the Crusader, will now be known as the Spire. The paper is making the change in response to negative associations surrounding the mascot, and Friday was its last day. Our Cam Jandro now joins us live with those details. Cam?
Yeah, Anna, this right here is the final edition of the Crusader. Now, the paper does share the same name as a newsletter released by the KKK, but when talking to editors, they say that was not a factor when considering the name change, and they were more concerned about the negative associations surrounding the word Crusader.
Since 1955, the Holy Cross student newspaper has held the same name, but Friday is the last time the Crusader will be circulated on campus.
It feels a little bit like an end of an era, and there's been so much great work and so much great journalism produced under the Crusader masthead.
The paper's name faced criticism for its association with the Crusades. Editors James Gallagher and Jack Godar say they wanted to remove any possible negativity from the title.
No matter how long ago the Crusades were, we no longer wanted to associate ourselves with the imagery of the shield and the sword and the sort of massacres that took place during the Crusades.
After months of discussion, the editors and writers decided to change the name to the Spire, honoring the twin spires of Fenwick Hall, the college's first building. Gallagher, a senior, says the new name is a better representation of Holy Cross.
It was the only building of the college for a little while, and it was burnt down in a fire in the 1800s. It was rebuilt. So what we think is that the Spire stands for the perseverance of the college, the people that founded it.
The Spire will be printed for the first time February 9th. Both Gallagher and Godar are ready to move on.
We're going to honor the name and continue the legacy. But what it came down to is just better representing the student body.
It's the same lineage, and all throughout that time, we've done great work and will continue to do so, and in doing so, honor the contributions of past writers.
Now, this weekend, the Board of Trustees at Holy Cross will host a meeting to discuss whether or not the school should move forward with the Crusader as their mascot. The mascot has been the same since 1925. Anna?
Very interesting story there, Cam. Thank you for that. The Worcester County Sheriff's Department warning residents of Worcester County of a recent phone scam. According to the Sheriff's Department, the scam artists are calling people saying they're an officer from the Worcester County Sheriff's Office and threatening with prosecution for failing to comply with jury service in federal or state courts, or saying they have an arrest warrant in their name. They then say the caller attempts to pressure people into providing prepaid money cards, credit cards, and confidential data, potentially leading to identity theft and fraud. In a statement, Sheriff Lou Evangelitis says in part, "Our department does not contact residents and demand payment or ask for credit card information. We encourage anyone who gets a suspicious call to just hang up or call authorities first before giving out any type of personal information or money." The man accused of hiding the body of a Worcester man who died at his home is granted bail Friday. Xavier Broughton was granted $7,500 bail during his dangerousness hearing in Worcester Superior Court. Police found the body of 27-year-old Justin Ramos at Broughton's home earlier this week. Ramos had been missing since January 7th. Prosecutors say Broughton originally lied to investigators about what happened to Ramos, but later told police the man died of a heroin overdose at his house. Broughton has pleaded not guilty to charges of misleading police and disinterment. A popular dry cleaning business in Worcester opened its doors for the last time on Friday. Zoots filed for bankruptcy last month and many customers were left hanging. Our Rosalind Flaherty has more on what customers and employees plan on doing next.
Customers are finally able to pick up their clothes from Zoots Dry Cleaning Friday after they've been locked up for 2 weeks.
I was just waiting patiently, and thank God I'm happy to have them.
Came as a shock. I wasn't prepared for that.
The company filed for bankruptcy last month and abruptly closed stores, including this one on Park Ave. The move leaving customers frustrated.
Not very professional. They could have did it a little more organized.
I was relieved when they came out with a story that said they were going to be open to at least get people their clothes. I don't have much here, but I have friends who had entire giant wardrobes for their kids in college, and that was problematic.
Zoots locations were reopened only for one day. Customers were given back any dirty laundry but had to pay for cleaned clothes. Worcester store manager Holly Bouchard says employees were given no warning.
We had a conference call and basically go to your store, get your keys, lock up, and leave.
Holly and others later had one of their paychecks reversed. She's managed the store for 14 years and is losing her job along with 3 other employees.
I've been here for so long, I just really want the customers to get their belongings back.
For customers who built relationships with Holly and her workers, it's a difficult day.
I feel much worse for the employees than I do for myself. I had one jacket. You got a bunch of people that aren't going to be able to pay their bills. It's awful.
I love the manager here. She's been my friend. I've been coming here for many years, so we'll just have to adapt and move on.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Switching gears now, we're just 2 days away from Super Bowl 52. Here's a look at Burns Bridge tonight. Central Massachusetts showing their support, lit up in red, white, and blue, of course, in honor of the New England Patriots. Sunday, we'll see the team hit the field to take on the Eagles. The team is making final preparations for the big day. The Pats trying to bring a 6th championship back to Foxborough. And some of the biggest news to come out of Minneapolis in the last 24 hours, Rob Gronkowski will play in the Super Bowl on Sunday. The Patriots star tight end clearing concussion protocols Thursday and telling reporters he never had any doubts about being on the field against the Eagles. No doubt people will be hosting Super Bowl parties. You may want to check your fridge and make sure it's stocked. Wachusett Brewing in Westminster says their Belichick Pils beer is flying off the shelves. The Pilsner was created 3 years ago in honor of Coach Belichick, but this year the company has seen a spike in sales.
Definitely a nice long run in the playoffs certainly helps sales, and we've probably experienced one of our best Januaries in company history, I think, due to the success of the Patriots. So it's great. And it almost seems like everybody's coming in, get their usual, but then also grab the 12-pack for celebratory reasons on Sunday.
The brewery also has a stout beer named Goat on tap in honor of Tom Brady. Special Olympics athletes, volunteers, and supporters are raising money as many gear up to take a polar plunge. Each winter, Special Olympics Massachusetts gathers teams from all over the state, including here in Central Mass, to raise money for a plunge. The plunge season runs from November until April, with the next event in Attleboro a week from tomorrow. The money collected goes back to fund Special Olympics programs.
The way it works is we ask everyone to fundraise at least $100, $75 if you're a student, paying for uniforms and practice venues and coaches and insurance and transportation and all these things that go into funding sports programs.
This year so far, they've raised $119,000. Their goal is to get to $400,000. You may have noticed a popular color in your travels Friday. Today is National Wear Red Day. It's part of a campaign to raise awareness for heart disease. The American Heart Association says 1 in 3 women die from heart disease and stroke each year. Our Chandler Walsh has more on the campaign.
Dr. Michelle Hadley is close with her patients. It's one reason the cardiologist at St. Vincent Medical Group is wearing red Friday.
I hope I can fill that gap to let her know she's not alone, and no patient should ever feel like they are alone.
Wear Red Day is an American Heart Association campaign raising awareness for heart disease. The organization says it's the #1 killer of women.
People think of heart disease and they think men, but it's very prevalent in women and it's killing women, and we need more public awareness.
Alicia Taraziak was born with a hole in her heart. She had surgery to fix it at 8 months old.
My mom brought me to the doctors. She just knew that something was wrong. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, I was very lethargic.
After experiencing unusual symptoms as an adult, she found Dr. Hadley. Alicia says a good relationship with her doctor makes all the difference.
I mean, she's just absolutely tremendous. I feel very comfortable talking to her. She's very open about listening to me and what I feel about my body.
Dr. Hadley says being in tune with your body could save your life. According to the American Heart Association, 80% of heart disease cases can be prevented.
There's a whole variety of symptoms for heart disease. You can have weakness, generalized weakness, sweating when you're walking, a racing, fluttering sensation in your heart, easy bleeding, easy bruising.
Alicia says the support of wearing red is touching, and it's a reminder for women to stay on top of their health. She says her big motivation is her 5-year-old daughter.
She's obviously so very important to me, and she needs her mommy in her life.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Auburn police find 5 stolen credit cards in the console of a car from New York Thursday. The car was spotted in an Auburn parking lot, and police say when officers approached the suspects, gave conflicting stories of what they were doing. 25-year-old Chanel Richards and 23-year-old Carly Place, both of New York, were arrested and are being charged with fraudulent credit card offenses. It's unclear at this time whether or not the suspects are connected to the counterfeit bills found in the town earlier this week.